You've barely lumbered out of 2014. You're probably still nursing some sort of adult-sized bangaroo. But you need to pull up your suspenders and face the new year with optimism and gusto like a man. Especially you, fellas. If 2014 has taught us anything, it's that soccer is the most fun and exciting sport in the history of the world, and Ebola is contagious. But what will 2015 bring? If economic reports are to be believed, you are going to be dripping in enough cash to buy your own damn droid. Because after all, there is a new Star Wars movie on the horizon. Yes, I felt that collective nerdgasm. Very good. And at some point, we're going to have to elect a new emperor. So let's put on our prognostication goggles and glance at our crystal balls. We're peering into the future. Hop in our flying car. This is The Independence. I'm your hostess, Kennedy. It is never too soon to get our collective stomachs churning of the thought of a bile-inducing, familiarly named statist president. And there are at least two well-worn ponies who fit that description. We're going to check in with the dueling dynasties to see how we can derail them. And to do that, we need to call on the cavalry. And looky who's here. It's the charming and sensible Reason Magazine editor-in-chief Matt Welch and his best friend and life partner in liberty, Camille Foster from Free Think Media. Together we are The Independents. All right, let's round out the party panel with some sass and class. With us tonight, it's Michael Moynihan, columnist at the Daily Beast, and Michael Malice. He's the author of Dear Reader. It is the unauthorized autobiography of Kim Jong-il. Look at that. License to Kim Jong-il, if you will. All right, so let us talk about the presidential race. It's Jeb Bush versus Hillary Clinton. I mean, that's it. It is set in stone. We're done. We've got our two contenders. We need to do nothing more, Michael.
No, it's over. Why are we even having this show? Like, why are we even talking about this? We should be...
Should we just pack up and go to London?
No, I'm trying to locate the Bushes who are like 11 months old now, so we can figure out who the president's going to be in 2036. Yeah, this is going to be a really exciting race. If it turns out that way, I am hoping, on the other hand, for Rand Paul, Elizabeth Warren. Because, you know, everyone always says the same thing. You know, all the candidates are exactly the same.
Yeah.
They believe this. I want these really, really two ideological people to go at it, and then everyone's going to wish that they were the candidates.
All right, but here's my worry. Jeb Bush, does he scare you, or does he also send your heart into delight?
Oh, no, he's absolutely the absolute worst, and I think he's absolutely no chance of getting traction. There's some dark horse candidates. If we want to talk about dark horse candidates that we want, I would love to see Rick Santorum, who came in second place last time, make a run for the presidency. And anyone who goes on TV and says, if you're gay, it's the same as being drunk and having sex with a horse. I mean, I am ready for Hillary, and I'm ready for hilarity in 2015 and beyond.
All right, well, before we get into the dark horses, my worry is when you've got names like Clinton and Bush, dumb people with money will just pour their wheelbarrows of cash into their coffers.
Which is great, because that means dumb people with money will lose their money, and we get to point and laugh at them, which we're going to do a lot of in 2015. There's no way, I think, that either Jeb Bush or, and I'm going to say it now, Hillary Clinton are going to get the nomination. Wow. I think that America...
You don't think either one?
No. I think that America is in an anti-establishmentarian mood, and they don't want a pre-coordinated frontrunner. Anyone who's out in front right now has just a target on their backs. Jeb Bush thinks that he's won this whole thing because he went first, so he's getting the money and all that kind of stuff. He's going to be the Romney this time. There's total logic. You get it, but the conservative grassroots hates his guts, and people are not going to want this. And there's going to be, on the left, I think people are going to be excited by some challenger, and we'll see who that is.
Yeah, we've seen some backlash on the right, but I think people on the left are pretty excited. I really do, because they see Jeb Bush, and that totally negates Hillary's problem with too much name recognition.
Yeah, I mean, Hillary's problem the last time around wasn't so much an anti-establishment vote. It was this guy who came out of nowhere, seemingly, and electrified the electorate by selling them hope and change and fantasy and unicorns and rainbows, and none of that stuff materialized. Maybe they go back to the old standard. I agree with you on Jeb Bush. Maybe Hillary does get the nod, though.
Okay, but here's the difference. The president even said people want that new car smell. He was that new car smell. He was that guy in 2008. Hillary Clinton has already been the coronated front runner, and she couldn't seal the deal. Why would it be any different for her this time?
It's not going to be anything different this time, but I think that I honestly do think that...
How do we derail her?
Well, I think that Elizabeth Warren will actually give her a run for her money. I don't think she's actually going to get the nomination, but I am really excited to see that primary because, you know, Hillary Clinton, you know, foreign policy-wise has been incredibly hawkish, centrist in so many ways compared to Elizabeth Warren, who, by the way, you know, had a pretty tough campaign and has been doing a fairly decent job. I disagree with her on pretty much everything, but I think she's actually, if she decides that this is going to be fairly interesting.
Yeah,
on the left especially.
Yeah, even if, as a limited government person, you have to run counter to her philosophical positions, but you look at the way that she can excite the base, and that's pretty undeniable. But, and we're going to shift gears a little bit. It's going to be very boring and dull to have two underperformers run against each other for this coronation. It's going to be another limp running. So let us dip into the stables for some real dark horses. We've already heard about Elizabeth Warren and Rick Santorum, but I agree with Moynihan. I would love to see Elizabeth Warren and Rand Paul run against each other.
Sure, that would be great. I mean, kind of boring. There's no way Elizabeth Warren's going to run because I don't think she can win. She's going to be the Howard Dean if she runs again for the presidency. If you really want to talk dark horses, the real candidate I want to see come from the grave is John Edwards. Let's have him.
That's amazing.
Let's have him on his redemption tour. Say, my wife is an angel. I've spoken to her. He could get the religious right to come over back to the Democrats. And this country loves people who come back.
It's just like the coffee bean and leaf now.
I'm sure he's doing fine for himself.
Here's
I mean, the man,
yeah.
Maybe selling hairspray and those little face masks. So that's who I want to see come back and run.
I agree with Malice that Elizabeth Warren won't travel and might not run, but I think there's going to be some element there, a desire on the Democrats' part to have someone who can channel the economic populism and, more importantly, or as importantly,
that's the key word, though, populism. When he talks about Rick Santorum, when he talks about Elizabeth Warren, it's the populism. And I still think, given the current economic climate, no matter how rosy people try and paint it, I still think that message is going to be the resounding.
And that's why Jim Webb actually becomes interesting, because he's not only has the economic populism not quite as severely as Elizabeth Warren, but he's also populistic in a way that that a lot of lefties like about civil liberties and war in a way that Elizabeth Warren is not. She doesn't really care about foreign policy.
And he's also a veteran. And
he's also a novelist.
And a crazy person.
And a very good novelist.
So far, he's the only novelist who might be running for president.
Yeah.
He has formed an exploratory committee.
Yeah, well, Bernie Sanders is another sort of ideologue that might be really interesting to have a sharp contrast to Rand Paul, were he to get the nod, if that's the matchup that we're sort of imagining.
Yeah.
But I also want to maybe forecast a little bit what the headlines may look like. At some point, Ben Carson, if he hangs around long enough, I would be shocked if people don't start to ask a few more questions about his religious pedigree.
Yes.
It's sufficiently odd for most
more
people.
Odd than Mitt Romney?
Well, that's just it. People at least know what Mormons are. They don't really know what Seventh-day Adventists are. And if it just so happens that there may be a little, some of them are, but they also happen to be vehemently Protestant in the sense that the Pope isn't just like kind of a weird guy. He's kind of the Antichrist.
Oh.
So
hey, now I
you may actually have to wrestle with that and ask at least some questions about it. My family is Adventist. They're not weird and strange people, but it might be an issue that he has to discuss.
Do you think Ben Carson's religion is going to be his downfall? I mean,
no,
I think
it's the various Hitler comments that he's made that are, which by
he's
the
not
way,
kidding. He's not kidding.
He's really sticking to them too. He's been asked, and he has an opportunity to walk things back, that America is sort of lurching towards Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
And he was asked again about this recently, and he was like, no, that's totally right.
Yeah, no,
and by the way, the Pope is the Antichrist. It's a tough package.
Yeah, it's really hard to bundle
TV,
Hitler and the Pope together and make that.
It's never happened before.
No.
I don't know how
Yes,
good
it has.
he is
The
on
Ayn Rand
TV. He's
Institute
at least
talks
very
about
good as a surgeon. He does that whole baby separating thing.
But he's actually terrible on healthcare policy. He has said many times that we should get rid of private insurance companies.
Yeah.
Like they're the problem. So I'm sorry, you're going to run against Obamacare by abolishing private health insurance companies?
When has a non-politician ever got a presidential nomination? Like 1920 and John W. Davis? I mean, that does never or he was a governor. There was like Frank Cox. This does not happen in the modern era. This guy's no chance whatsoever.
They become front runners in the modern era because we no longer have the Republican anointed next guy as we
They've
had
become front runners for a while. And,
Right,
and I think, what you've seen, Michelle Bachmann was a front runner.
But she was a politician.
Sarah Palin,
she was in Congress.
Mike Huckabee.
She was a governor. He was a governor.
Where's Alan Keyes when you need him?
Where is Donald Trump when you really need him?
Oh, he'll be back.
He's going to be with Ted Nugent. We decided this already.
Oh my God. That would be the ticket. That actually
Trump and
might
Nude.
stir me from my apathetic
But
slumber.
who's on top and who's
like
the
a buddy
VP?
cop
That's the question.
That's a nice thing. They're interchangeable. They'll rewrite the Constitution. So depending on their man moods,
Just
they
tag
can
out.
go with the flow. Exactly. Wonder Twin powers activate. Shape of an Remember to like us on Facebook, if you will, and you can follow me on Twitter at Kennedy Nation. I'm looking for a few good followers just like you. Special prizes await. All right, when it comes to the economy, do you want the good news or the truth? Are you going to be dripping in diamonds or growing your own victory garden? Peter Schiff plays the part of skeptic and psychic. That's next. But first, what is your New Year's resolution? What's your New Year's resolution?
I want to earn a lot of money.
Nice. This is The Independence. Welcome back. 2014 was a very magical year full of fascinating news that we covered week in and week out right here on this very program. Stories came and went so fast, it's very easy to forget some of the details. So let's play a game to see how much you remember of the 2014 news cycle. Michael Moynihan and Michael Malice are back. It's a battle of wills. It's the test of the Michaels. Gentlemen, welcome back to the Independence
There can be
Octagon.
only one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two Michaels enter, one leaves.
Highlander.
Yeah. Isn't it there can only be one?
You're on my list.
Well, let's go. You guys ready to play? Do you have your paddles?
So, yeah, I got
Who needs
my
good paddling?
Yeah.
You want to play whack-a-mole?
Yes, let's do that.
Question number 1. During their extensive coverage of the missing Malaysian airliner, which scenario did CNN not explore? A, a black hole swallowed it. B, the prospect of supernatural forces. Or C, it entered the Earth's orbit.
Is this a trick question?
This is, it's all.
I mean,
And Camille Foster is on the board with 1. CNN did not explore the idea that the airliner might have entered the Earth's orbit.
yeah, but
And
black
that is
holes,
correct.
I mean, that is a legitimate point of inquiry. I mean, you want to know if maybe,
I know.
possibly.
God.
Congratulations, Camille. You are on the board with
Thank you.
1.
Thank you, I
You
appreciate
are
it.
so far winning the game. Let's go to question number 2. See what you guys remember from this news cycle. Murmur, murmur. The Ice Bucket Challenge began in order to raise awareness for ALS. ALS stands for Asthenic Lymphedema Stasis, Amyotrophic Lateral Sclerosis, or Adenoidal Lycanthropic Syndrome.
I don't know.
I didn't see Luke
You all
Garrett's
got
name.
that one right. And congratulations, Camille, you're still in the lead.
Yes.
Lycanthropy, which was C, is actually the disease of being a werewolf. Yeah, and A was just made up. Good job, everyone. All right, that was too easy. Question number 3. This one will get you. All right, this is going to shake up the game. This year, Russia invaded Crimea under the leadership of Vladimir Putin. Which ridiculous publicity stunt has the Russian president not yet done? A, shot a whale with a crossbow. B, hugged a polar bear. Or C, challenged a foreign head of state to box. Oh, no one got that one right. It's actually C. He has not challenged a foreign head of state to box.
Did you call it
hugged a bear?
Yes.
Crimea?
What do you want me to call it?
Crimea.
That's like the powdered stuff you put in coffee that's like the fake milk, right?
Oh.
Or is that
That's-
cremola or something?
That's Cremoistia.
Cremoistia.
Yeah,
It's
which is also my state name.
Crimea?
Oh, how do you say it? Crimea?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
Don't you have a show? Haven't you talked about this before?
Oh my
Crimea
God.
River.
This is what happened.
All right, okay.
Snob.
This is what happened when the
Okay,
guy with
yeah,
a bookcase full of KGB books gets a Russia question wrong. He starts deflecting.
That was a lot of deflection there.
Oh, William F. Buckley, I can't believe it.
I also have
I'm an eccentric billionaire. My name's Michael Moynihan. Yes, I'm half Russian, full dork.
She's
got your number.
Of this panel.
Yes. Lovey. Can I have question number 4, please? It's right here. In May, the Islamicist group Boko Haram kidnapped 80 schoolgirls in Chad. What does Boko Haram mean in its native dialect? Does it mean A, Western education is forbidden, B, let us be grateful to God, or C, the life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness? The correct response is A. Camille, you're still in the lead.
Yeah.
Moynihan, you're in second place. And Alice and Matt, you each have
Step your game up,
1.
gentlemen.
Okay, very good. Let us be grateful to God. That's the state motto of Kentucky. And the life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness, the state motto of Hawaii.
Really?
Yes.
No wonder.
The more you know, right here on the Independence. Scratching the felt. Okay, question number 5. In September, a fence jumper sprinted across the lawn of the White House and entered through the front door. 2 of the following names are Olympic pole vaulting medalists. 1 is the fence jumper. Choose the fence jumper.
No.
Is it A, Lawrence Johnson, B, Omar Gonzalez, or C, Javier Garcia?
Don't.
And the game is now tied. It's a three-way tie. Camille, you are still barely clinging to the lead. Everyone else has too. The answer is Omar Gonzalez. He was the White House fence jumper.
Wow.
Well done. You thought it was Javier.
Yeah.
That's because
good job. Oh, I thought it was Javier. You said that wrong. It's actually Omar.
That's my driver. I keep getting them confused.
The other guy's from Cremora.
Okay.
North Camorra.
Question number 6. Kamora Lee Simmons. Which of the following cost more this year? A, Kim Kardashian's wedding cake. B, Justin Bieber's court-ordered vandalism restitution. Or C, Hillary Clinton's Iowa steak fry travel expenses. Anyone can jump into the lead with this one. Wow. Anyone, and none of you did. The score actually stays the same. Camille's in the lead by 1, and we've got one question left. Bieber entered a no contest plea to a misdemeanor, had to pay $80,000+. Kim's wedding cake, only $12,000. The steak fry, just over $50,000 to travel to Iowa for Tom Harkin's farewell.
Was that the Bieber egg throwing?
Yeah, that was the next door neighbor egg throwing.
Thousand Oaks or something?
That person really needs to be expatriated.
How could you report Justin Bieber? I mean, come on.
How could you not deport Justin Bieber?
Wow.
Okay, question number 7. For their 2014 swimsuit edition, Sports Illustrated took Kate Upton on a weightless photography shoot in the stratosphere using which company? Was it A, Zero G, B, Virgin Galactic, or C, SpaceX? No. Anyone can win with this question. And that anyone would be Camille Foster. Congratulations, Camille, for breaking into my office and stealing the answer.
No. Astute observations of the media.
You've done very well in the games lately, Camille. And unfortunately, Michael Malice, you have not broken your losing streak.
Shade.
They call me the Matt Welch of the games.
Nice try.
Oh, Camille, congratulations. And your prize is you can take me to Del Frisco's for a lovely steak dinner. Thank you.
Like a boss. Yes.
You're welcome.
Indeed. Next, Star Wars, new gadgets flooding the marketplace. There's so much to look forward to in 2015. We'll tell you what has us most fired up, and then we'll tell you our New Year's resolutions coming up a little later in the show. This is The Independence. Hello, I'm a nice lady. This is The Independence. Thank you so much for being part of our look ahead into 2015. The new year can't only be about statist harpies and inflation. There has to be something to look forward to that will change the course of human events, or at least some useless electrobobble that will make your digital heart race. What do we have to look forward to in the coming year? Michael Moynihan, Michael Malice. They rejoin us. That they were just here. Gizmos and gadgets captivate our imaginations and make our lives easier. Will there be any game changers in the coming year? Camille, you're kind of our tech god, so I'm going to leave this to you to start off.
And I'm going to be clairvoyant again, and I'm going to tell you that I am definitely going to buy 3 more Apple devices in the new year, and I will not be alone. I'm getting an Apple Watch.
You're getting an Apple Watch. So what is the Apple Watch? Because I have not yet gotten an iPad. I do have the 6 Plus, which I'm quite fond of. I'm licking it now, though you can't see me. What is it about the Apple Watch that you find intriguing?
It's going to be on sale.
Okay, very good. Therefore,
what does it do?
It's the sophistication.
What is it good for?
Yeah.
You know, I fought back against the iPad. I didn't understand. You know, this is a big iPhone. I fought back against the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. I've since migrated to the iPhone 6 Plus. I'm just going to buy the Apple Watch. I don't know what it's for. I don't know what it does. I don't frankly care. I'm going to wear it.
Okay, very good. So, Malice, what are you looking forward to in your gadgetry?
Gadgetry, I'm kind of like a caveman, so I'm not big on gadgets because I'm home 23 hours a day. What I'm really looking forward to in 2015 is the Twin Peaks book, because Twin Peaks is coming back in 2016, and Mark Frost is going to release a book that says what happened in those 25 years, and that's my...
and Sherilyn Fenn is going to make a big comeback.
Oh, she's not doing so hot.
Yeah.
Come on.
She's in the pills.
I don't know what
Can I say that?
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, she's got a little...
You should do your tongue cherry stem trick on live TV at some point this year.
I really
That could be
should. If only I had an old-fashioned, I would de-stem the cherry and give you quite a treat. All right, I'm excited about the Dash, and these are wireless earbuds that also have a microphone and track your heart rate and everything else. I'm sick of running with wired earbuds. The wireless ones so far have been substandard. The Dash, they're looking pretty fantastic, and cheaper 4K TVs. Right now, they can run as much as $40,000. But when I'm gonna look at Lou Dobbs, I want clarity, I want technology, and I want the grace.
Usually what's missing, yeah.
Absolutely right, Camille. Thank you.
Because I don't have a 4K TV is what I mean.
Okay, well,
There's not
you
a
know, you
shot.
can come over to my house. We can watch Lou. Perhaps the most important movie release in a decade. It's going to be Star Wars. But will the Force be with J.J. Abrams? Take a look.
The dark side.
I love John Williams. I named my daughter after him. You have been on a huge Star Wars kick lately.
Yeah, I
You've
never-
been going through the entire sixtrilogy so far. Now, this latest trilogy, what is it going to do to your family and your being?
Hopefully, it's going to expunge the second trilogy, which my daughter is still clinging on to because Amidala is more of an interesting character than Princess Leia, I guess.
What?
Although, yeah,
Just good makeup, I guess.
She looks better, exactly. She has more hairstyles. Although she does like the slave outfit of Princess Leia. I guess we all do. Yeah, it's going to expunge that. And I mean, it's amazing all the people who wash their hands of the trilogy, and I've never been a Star Wars geek. Within like 30 seconds of that trailer dropping on Twitter, you could hear like an entire nation of people just dropping their pants and going into their mama's basement and sitting in front of their computers and crying and weeping.
Yeah, and a lot of people went and saw Fury, the Brad Pitt movie, because that's where the Star Wars trailer debuted. And people showed up as stormtroopers to a Nazi movie, which is a little disconcerting.
Stormtroopers to a night seems actually appropriate. I don't know anything about this. I saw the one, and I'm not avoiding it. Like, I'm not saying, like, I just want to see Star Wars. I just haven't seen them, but I saw the one that had, like, the Jamaican dingo.
Jar Jar Binks.
What is that called? He was, like, flopping around. Yeah, no, it was like, yeah, no, it was like this.
This is our grandparents talk about Star Wars.
I know. The step and fetch Jamaican character that was racist. And one thing I did notice, by the way, because what I'm looking forward to in the new year, by the way, is an enormous basket of new outrages, because, you know, they're getting more outrages every day. And I saw the other day that apparently there was an outrage, but it turned out not to be, that there was a guy in the Star Wars trailer who was a black stormtrooper.
Because all the stormtroopers
And there was like a big...
But we don't know the storyline. He's
there was no
probably
outrage.
just wearing the costume.
There actually wasn't.
I'm so triggered. I'm so triggered.
There actually wasn't any outrage. That's the interesting thing about that story. Like, people assumed that there would be outrage at the black stormtrooper, and they got in high dudgeon about all the inherent racism in America, and like absolutely nobody was outraged.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay! This actually happened the other day. I was with my daughter, who's 3.5 years old, and she said she started talking a true story about the black guy in Star Wars, and I said Lando, and she said no, Darth Vader.
Yeah,
so I was like, she didn't see it, but then I do because
That's
I
beautiful.
am horrible.
That's beautiful.
Just so you know.
I love
he kills
that.
children.
All right, well, he's a talented guy playing a goofy conservative blowhard, but will a softer blowing real-life Stephen Colbert be enough to fill the Letterman void? He's been playing a character for 9 years. Do you think Colbert is going to be able to hack it on
this
big fancy network TV?
I'm not a huge fan. I've never really gotten into his show. He plays this one character all the time. I think it may be a little hard for him to transition, but he will have a team of expert writers, and I suspect that is what makes these shows really, really work particularly well. It'll probably be
You
fun.
have to have some form of relatability and warmth.
He's on
and
television
humor.
on a
He's
regular
very funny.
basis. I suspect he gets timing and stuff. He has the writers. He'll probably be fine.
But at the risk of like destroying our childhood, you know, there isn't a Letterman void anymore. Who watches Letterman as much? I mean, he just gets applause. He doesn't get laughs. My mom doesn't even watch him anymore.
Mary does. She texted me. She's like,
Why does Matt keep losing? Giving me answers.
what do you think? Can Colbert cut it?
I'm a huge Colbert fan, not because of the Colbert Report, but because of his show Strangers with Candy, which preceded it, which is one of the greatest sitcoms of all time.
Yeah.
So he's very quick on his feet. He's very good with edginess. And the idea that he's not going to be able to transition and fill David Letterman's bitter old man shoes is kind of hard for me to swallow.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here and making this show new and year-like.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you both. I toast you with champagne and bourbon mixed, because that's what we do in the old country. All right, you can't have a new year without resolutions, and we've got a few things we'd like to accomplish this year. Plus, are we on the verge of a full-scale cyber war? We will discuss if we're not taken off the air by hackers. It's coming up next.